I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media.
Come on!
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. What is up, everybody? This show is powered by cannabis. We smoke it, we ingest it, we love it. It's cannabis. And it's also at Teebs of Adrian. That's where we get it from. Teebs.green is the website to go check it out. I mean, at least go check out the website and see what it's all about. That's the best thing you could do. They have recreational medicinal. They have pre-rolls. They have cartridges, edibles, concentrates, deals on everything, topicals, paraphernalia, anything you could need to get your dose of cannabis. They have a bud bar as well with a microscope where you can actually look at your cannabis and see the properties in it. Now, I didn't know what I was looking at, so it didn't help me, but it can either help you, or the best part is they will explain it to you, which is super helpful. They're very helpful there. They have great consultants. You got to check it out. Teebs of Adrian, get your cannabis on and get it done. All right. Let's thought we were going to get started. Oh, I hit the wrong side. Let me see what I'm doing.
Episode number 2.
I don't know what's going on. I don't
Well,
know.
where's Donnie? He'll just sing it.
Donnie's Mondays and Wednesdays.
Oh, that's right.
Today's Tuesday. Although it feels like a Wednesday.
It feels like another Monday.
Yeah.
Can't feel like another Monday, right? It's too early. The day is just starting with possibilities.
Shut your face.
Yeah, this new positive outlook Demetrius is not doing it for me.
I
He
know.
woke up with his finger guns today. That's how I know he's in a good mood. He woke up.
He's
Right?
just
Oh.
stemming that shit.
Look, finger guns and Matrix.
Oh, together. Boy, I'll finger gun you and you, and then you matrix it back. Ah! You're dodging all my bullets.
One of these
Damn.
days that chair is gonna break.
So, welcome to the show of grown-ass 5-year-olds.
Demetrius, you aren't as little as you used to be. You're asking that chair to do a lot. At one point,
This chair was made in the 50s. It
See?
held racism and sexism. This chair can withstand me.
That chair's Claire.
Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Does anyone have anything to start with?
I do have a question.
Oh,
Okay. And this is actually, and maybe it's for 2.5 people here. I don't know exactly, but I'm going to say 3 because I'm going to assume that Chris is going to give me a wrong answer, but it is for everybody. But all right, ready, Chris? Okay, so here it is. All right, because we've all experienced it, and I think Gina, you have probably perpetrated this as well. When your significant other is upset and angry and walks into the house, what is the best way to find out what that is without irritating your significant other even more?
Right. Well, can I just say that first off, I don't have this issue because my significant other is never in a bad mood and never grumpy. She's always the light of my life. So like I'll come in and there is this
Calling us off the screen with a gun.
there's this hold on, let me look. What? There's a halo of goodness around her at all times. Okay, so there you go. That's straight from my heart, and that piece of paper she handed me.
Straight from the knife aimed at your heart. That's what
Oh, is that what it is? No, as far as she is concerned, there is no way, because when I say, why are you grumpy? Then that just makes them more grumpy. I'm not grumpy. Well, you're obviously grumpy and you just snapped at me in 2 seconds. So you are grumpy and something is going on. Why do I
Somebody who's upset that they're upset? Like
Okay.
they know they're upset.
So,
But
all
I wanna
right.
know
So
why.
maybe I'm only going to get one right answer. Maybe this question was just for one person on the panel. Well, who knows? Because Chris is yet to chime in. But your
Right.
answer clearly wrong.
Okay.
Clearly wrong.
You're right.
Gina, You're angry. You walk into the house. How is somebody supposed to approach you? Do they throw steak in the room before they walk in? Like what does that look like? How can you broach the subject and not add on to the anger?
Start with what can I do?
What can I do?
But okay. All right. So that's all you say is just what can I do? And
I mean,
what if it
yeah, I mean, like you don't have to state the obvious that they're upset. That's just that's annoying as fuck. Like that's just annoying. And you just say, is there anything I can do?
But what if like, because I'm like a kind of, well, I would assume most men are, and maybe I shouldn't speak for most men, but most men are like well, once again, I am the type of person that needs to know the reason before I can offer help. If the like,
okay,
how does
do
that?
you
How can
think-
you get to the reason?
So you genuinely think that if you don't ask, you're never going to know the reason when a woman's mad?
Oh,
because we're going to tell you. We're
I
going to
know,
tell you for 3 hours once we get ready to tell you.
Okay, but look, this is all brought up because I read this thing on Facebook, and this guy was like, "Look, you know," he goes, and this was it was probably the worst advice ever I could ever read. And it was, hey, if your girl walks in and she's not talking and she's clearly upset and she's clearly annoyed, you ask her, what is her problem? And I felt like the tone of that was wrong. But it did lead me to a serious question that I have, and that is, like, I know I'm going to hear about it, but I have a biological timeline as a man. Like I can't watch the trailer to the movie for 4 hours before I see the movie. Like I need it. I can't wait 2 hours. I need to know. Maybe I want to know now. I just can't walk around in a house full of like negative energy.
I know.
And not say something. I can't wait that long.
You're walking around on eggshells. It's like everything is snippy. It's like what?
You guys ever use what
I did?
Have you guys ever used an Instapot before?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not
so when it's done cooking, okay, and there's steam coming out. What did you say, Tifo?
He goes, it's not instant.
Oh, I can't with you. Good God.
By the way, Gina, before you give the analogy,
it was just a freaking joke, Andrew.
It's not instant.
Okay.
It's not instant, Gina.
All right. So
continue.
When
my
the
5-minute rice is 6 minutes.
It is actually 6 minutes. I know D does use an Instapot. So anyway, you if you open that lid before it's ready, what happens?
You
ruin it.
It blows up like everything. Yeah. So the lid flies off, shit's flying out. It's crazy. If you make us tell you before we're ready, we're going to tell you in a way you don't want us to tell you. It's going to be a lot of yelling, screaming, bitching, possibly throwing things. You open the Instapot before it was ready. If you wait and be patient and just say, is there anything I can do to help? Then when she's ready, she's going to come to you and talk to you instead of you catching the whole full-on force of opening that Instapot before it's ready.
Hey, George, put Mike's comment back up.
So can I? So here's the thing then. All right, if the house is uncomfortable, and most men understand this kind of like uncomfortableness, right? The simmering anger or frustration of your significant other, and it comes into the house. It's like it's almost like the instrumental music for Star Wars before you see Darth Vader. You hear doon 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 doon. Yeah, and then they walk in and you're like, shit, don't talk to Darth. because Darth is in one of his like choke you from across the room moods, right?
Yes.
But
So-
but you're like, but you're really concerned.
Yeah, it doesn't even work if you call her yes, Lord, no, Lord. It doesn't even work. She gets even more mad. All you're trying to do.
If she comes in and she's in a mood and you say, is there anything that I can do? And she tells you no, go back to your fucking little whatever you were doing before, because after she explains it to you, you're going to go back to doing whatever you were doing before anyway.
No, I can help. Let's say if she's mad because of dishes, because the dishes weren't done. If she's mad, well, then I can go in and do dishes.
Then you've given her the option to say to you, yes, you can do the dishes.
Yeah, but that's improve her mood because she's still upset that they weren't done in the first place.
Well, yeah, because we want you to want to do the dishes. It's not really that hard of a concept to grasp.
All right, we're getting caught up in semantics here. Just the example of dishes. I'm talking in general. In general, can I walk up to Darth and go, look, Darth, I know we've had a hard day at the Empire. I understand. Things have gone wrong. We've lost the Death Star. We were beaten by tiny teddy bears. I get that. I understand that as today goes, this was probably not a day we circle and look forward to the next year.
Right.
But Darth, what I need to understand is, how can I help you? What is going? I can't
you can die.
I need if I just walk out of the house, like that would be my go-to in an uncomfortable situation. I would just go, wow, this room is not comfortable to sit in anymore. So I feel like I need to extract myself. So I'm trying to see if I can hasten the result. Do I turn the fire up on the Instapot?
No.
Or the pressure cooker, because you don't want to hear.
No.
You want to hear. The pressure cooker's ready.
All right.
It's like a good morning, Moonlights. It's like I want to get the punishment. If I know there's going to be a punishment, if I know I'm going to get a whooping, okay. Just give me the whooping, because the anticipation for the whooping is always worse than the whooping. So I don't want to sit there all day. I would rather find out what's wrong. Let's hash it out. Yell at me, do whatever. We scream, blah, blah, blah. And then let's get back to.
I like Andrew's assumption that he's the reason she's upset.
See, Dubs will stay out of my way, or he'll just come and look around the house and be like, okay, what can I do? So he'll just start doing something, anything that.
I've never cohabitated with a significant other, but in my limited experience, the best thing that I've been able to do is just let me know when you're upset. Let me know why you're upset whenever you want to, and just don't ever bring it up again.
So, Chris, when you get home and your ferret doesn't want to talk to you,
I don't have a ferret.
And
funny enough, Tifel's the most correct from a woman's standpoint. Out of the three of you, Tifel is the one with the probably the best answer. I think that most females would choose.
Because here's the thing, he walks in, his ferret's upset. He goes to sit on his human skin couch and
cook his human thigh in his Instapot that's not instant.
Yeah.
Like he rubs that middle cushion. He goes, Stacy, what's got you all upset?
But here's the thing, what you guys don't understand is I don't want to be in that funk all day. I don't want to be on.
You're not in the funk. She's in the funk, and you are making it your problem.
Well, that's how that works, though.
You already. If you ask, what can I do?
That is your problem. It's not I can't. I would suggest that no man in a relationship conduct himself like his woman is the only one whose problem that is. That is the worst. Do not walk around and go, that's your problem.
What can I do?
Just going to conduct I'm going to go cut the grass and then go play 9 holes of golf.
Yeah, that annoys her more.
I don't know. I don't know that I would not appreciate you leaving the house.
It's really
out of my way.
It's really a no-win situation. It really is, because
I would avoid doing self-aggrandizing activities and rubbing it in her face. Like, so if I go golfing or I go, somewhere that's just for me or something. But yeah, you can like mow the lawn and do housework. I don't see how that would upset her anymore.
I think I would punch you in the face if you ever used the word self-aggrandizing to me. I would knock the dog poop out of you.
Whatever. All right, I don't know, man. I
like college words.
The reason there aren't any good answers that we've come up with, because there aren't any good answers. There really aren't. You're screwed either way.
Listen, it's so funny to me.
You either live in a house of dun 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 dun, or you face Darth and get choked or come across the room. Like there is.
Yeah, it's either the Empire or like Disney's Gummy Bears. Like it's one of the two. It's like gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere, and then 5 minutes later it's dun 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 dun.
So,
dun,
Dee,
dun.
what do you do then? What is it that what do you do when Kara comes in and she's upset?
Do you know? I just I try to stay out of her way. Like I literally, because there was a point where I was just constantly like, what's going on, what's wrong, tell me what the issue is. And the problem with that is that when I listen to it, I put myself in it, and then I start thinking about all the shit that I would do to fix it. And then I start throwing out suggestions, and some of the suggestions aren't like, some of them are just like old 1950s dad like suggestions where you're like, suck it up, son, racism exists, move on. And
here's what I don't I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, yeah, you're good.
Here's what I don't understand. Let's say that I need $1 million, okay? I have to have $1 million. And let's say my friend Mike has the answer. He knows how I could get $1 million. Why would I get mad at him for sharing the answer to my quandary?
Because
if Mike is always the guy who's like, you need to rob a bank, then that's
no, it's always a good answer. Like if someone knows the answer on how to get $1 million, why would you it solves the problem that's making you're angry, you're anxious, you're whatever, because you don't have $1 million and that's what you need. And the guy over here that lives in the house with you has the answer to getting you $1 million, but you're like, I don't want to hear your answers. I just want you to listen to how I need $1 million. You're like, what? Makes no sense.
Why do you think you have all the answers?
No, I'm saying because I know I can hear the problem if I know the answer. If I know 1 and 1 is 2, then I know the answer. I mean, I know when I know the answer. If she
I'm
doesn't,
saying you're assuming you have the answers to her problems.
Right. Well, usually I do, because I'm not emotionally attached to the problem. I can look at it clearly with clear eyes.
If you don't remember, Andrew said his superpower is seeing clearly both
That's his superpower.
sides.
You're right.
For his word, so why wouldn't you want to listen?
Thank you.
But you know what? Here's the problem with that, Andrew.
Well, you know what it is?
The fact that
time.
I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was making a dumb joke. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
But the problem with that is people hate people who have answers all the time.
What?
People who go like, I can tell you what to do.
This
is something that nobody like Kara doesn't come to me anymore with like problems, because she's like, this motherfucker acts like he knows everything. And it's not, and sometimes like it's 49. It's 49 talking and not D talking. It is 49 years of living on this planet without getting hit by a bus. So I've seen a lot.
Has Kara got hit by a bus?
No.
Is she much younger than you?
Well, I have more experience dodging buses.
Right? Yeah,
More experience.
It's not an age thing. It's hey, if you've never ridden the bus and you want to take experience from someone that's ridden the bus. I just
He's
saw
like,
a
you're
body
about to get
coming
hit
in.
by a bus.
For those listening to the podcast, Kara just sidled into the room, turned the light on and off, and sidled right back out.
Yeah.
She's letting him know.
Yeah, she's letting me know 5 minutes till nap time.
She does not need or want your advice unless she asks for it. That's about. I'm not talking about Kara. I'm talking about women in general. I am trying to tell you. Look at you've avoided getting hit by a bus thus far. I'm trying to help you avoid another bus.
And the thing about it is Gina it's like I feel like I'm a fount of knowledge, and when I watch people walk by my fount and not throw a nickel in and ask it a question, I'm like,
but he can use font.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andrew.
Here's what I don't understand is, so Demetrius is full of knowledge. So if he speaks, if he comes into the restaurant and I'm sitting there and I have an issue, I'm going to sit there and listen to him because he's. So why would the person that lives with him not want to hear all that knowledge that I want? I want to suck up all that knowledge. Why would someone else not want to suck up? The
question is this. Here's the question: Did she ask you to fix a problem? If not, the answer is shut the fuck up. It's that simple.
But I live by the motto of my great grandfather always told me: if you have a problem, I'll solve it. Yeah, my was that my grandfather? Was that I can't remember. Ice Cube, Ice Tea. Oh, Vanilla Ice. Okay,
Vanilla Ice.
Mixed up. But anyway, the wisdom of the stage. Go ahead, Chris.
Here's a good analogy. At the beginning of every disaster movie ever, you have the scientist laying out, here's the problem, here's the solution, here's how we go about implementing the solution. But the politicians aren't emotionally ready to hear all of that at the moment. All they want to hear about is that they're there in case they decide to listen to them later. Okay? So just keep that in mind.
No, I hear your point in there, Tifo. I hear your point. It was a terrible analogy, but I understand your point completely. No,
yeah,
and he's right.
By that time, Chris, though, the continent has fallen into the ocean.
Yeah, well, it's not. They all can't be winners.
But and here's the biggest problem too that we're having is that this is an individual thing. What works for me might not work for Kara, won't work for Colleen, won't work for Chris's person couch, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a very individual thing. But as far as like I can speak for myself, and as far as I go, it's what can you do? What?
You mean my Eastern European mail order bride soon to be coming?
Yeah. Is she coming? She's the U.S. Postal Service is taking their time.
I've almost saved up enough for a down payment.
I live to please you, Christopher Tifo.
He's checking the tracking, and he's
send me back to bread lines.
Yes,
I will make you.
I want to hear all your suggestions. I want to hear all. I don't want to make you angry. I want to hear everything you have to say, Mr. Tifo.
Tell me more about what you need, and I will pour it over vodka.
Vodka?
Where's this bride from?
She's from she's from the stands.
You know what? We should make up a country for you guys, and you guys can pick all of your different traditions and put them in one country and have your own accent, and we make up a whole country for you.
We would have, if we had a country, we would have all the answers. It's so here's what Georgia said, and it's very true. There's something here. Georgia says Mike will start a fight with me to get me to release my pent up anger. Then I realize what he's done.
Awkward.
Then realize what he's done. Stop yelling. Then he will ask what's wrong. But there's something to that. Like
that would be exhausting.
I would rather see what I always do is I ask, why are you grumpy? I always ask that because I want to have the fight and just get it over with. I just do. And then I don't want to let it fester for an hour or 2 hours or 5 hours or all day. I just don't. So I would rather face it. I know that no matter how I ask it, there isn't going to be a good way without her getting more pissed. So I just say, why are you grumpy? and then she screams. Then she screams at me, and then we have the discussion of whatever it is, and then we move on.
See, I don't think it's wise. I don't think it's wise to approach a relationship like you are in the ocean and we're being attacked by a shark. You don't punch it in the nose and then go, "What's wrong, shark?"
That's the nefariousness of Mike's approach there. I've been there when he's done it. See, Georgia's giving him too much credit. She's like, he picks the fight, then he finds out what's wrong, and then we work it out. No, he's already figured out what's pissed her off, and that's what he's poking her about. And so he will figure out what's pissing her off, and then he will poke her about that particular thing to get her to start yelling at him, and then they end up working it out. It's really awkward to be there when it happens.
That sounds exhausting to me. It's so exhausting. Like, I couldn't do that.
That sounds like adding another fight onto anger. That is crazy.
That's my way too.
You gotta add fire with fire.
Yes, you got to add the fight onto the anger, and then get it out, and then you hug, and then everything is good.
But that backdraft.
Kara just walked by again. Shh. Don't let her hear you.
Talk about how beautiful she is.
She knows that. I tell her that all the time. All the time. And even that, she's like, yeah, whatever.
Colleen says, stop lying.
I'm like, you're super hot. She's like, shut up. I feel like I don't feel pretty.
I promise she appreciates you telling her that, even if that's what her answer is.
I'm like, you may not feel pretty, but you could probably add a couple more octaves to your voice. That'll help.
I was gonna say you're horrible.
Oh shit!
Like, I've never heard her speak before, but I'm pretty sure that's a horrible impersonation.
It is. It's absolutely horrible. Her voice is an angel.
What'd you say? Shush.
She has the voice
of
an angel.
X-nay behind you, A. X-nay behind you, A. X-nay behind you, A.
What are you saying, Andrew? That's not even Pig Latin. What?
No, I know. It's like
Latin. I was trying to give him a warning. She was.
It's like. What is that combination of like Spanglish? You're like speaking Panglish. I don't know what the hell that is.
He just adds A to the end. He's not like it's Canadian or something. He just adds A to the end of everything.
Watch out,
it's Canadian pig Latin. It's A behind you, pig A.
Did you just call her a pig?
Oh God! Shut the fuck up, Andrew. Why are you trying to get de-stabbed? Oh my God! Why would you do that?
She's currently carving that toothbrush into a shiv.
This portion of the show brought to you in part by Teams of Adrian. Teams, we love them. And maybe D, maybe you slip some gummies in the breakfast this
when she opens her mouth to yell at you, just toss a gummy in it.
That's the move.
Like a bear. Like you just keep it. And you're like, okay.
Well, here's the problem. It doesn't take like 5 minutes to kick in. So you throw she comes at you screaming. You throw the gummy in her mouth. Then you run for 5 minutes. It gives it a chance to kick in. And then,
you get some nice cardio and then a calm wife.
Yes, and a calm wife. That's what everyone should do. Go to Teams of Adrian, get some gummies to throw them in your Siga's mouth.
Put them right in the middle of some those Hawaiian biscuit rolls, those sweet rolls, and put them in there.
Yeah, because then you can't tell it's sweet because any other breakfast food wouldn't be sweet. So yes, that's a good idea, D. That's a good idea. Team. All right. Also, this supports the show brought to you part by Lawn Greetings of Toledo. Say it in the lawn, you guys. Happy Mother's Day.
What's wrong with you? Right on the lawn.
Yeah, what's wrong? There you go, D.
What's your problem?
What's your problem?
Why are you grumpy? Use that one. Why are you grumpy?
You look beautiful today.
That one too.
She does.
It can be for any. It doesn't have to be for an occasion. You can do a lawn greeting just to brighten someone's day. It doesn't have to be that. It's like, you're so beautiful. I'm so lucky type thing.
Can it be any length? Like, can you go, hey, I won the lottery and I'm leaving you.
Yeah, hey, that's HEY. That's a lot of letters, but I'm sure that he can make them because
He said that's 1, 2, 3 lot of letters.
That's a lot of. My industrial arts teacher would only be able to count 2 of those.
But like you like can you do like a whole apology letter on the lawn?
Yes, you can. All right. So, from 13 ABC, Toledo Public Schools are investigating alleged inappropriate contact between a coach and a student. Man, how does this continue to happen? Like, how do you think you're going to get away with it? I just, once you send that first text message, all I'm going to say women, but I guess all people probably, they screenshot that shit for even they know that eventually something's going to go side. Like, I don't prepare like that. If someone sends me something, like, I don't think to send a screenshot, but that's just me. I trust people too much. I don't think we're ever not going to be friends. I just don't feel that way. Everyone else in this world though knows at some point this shit's probably going to go haywire, so they will hold on to that evidence to use it on you later. So you just need to be careful with what you're doing and
careful. Stop doing it. Stop reaching out to, like, God bless them.
For me, it's more the umbrella thing of anyone you
George. It's not always TPS. That's not true. It's in everywhere. This is in every school and every. I mean, it's all over the place.
You know what I think it is. And you guys can tell me if I don't know what I'm talking about. But as I go to the school, and it could be just that I'm getting older, but as I go to the schools, the teachers seem younger and younger. Like the teachers, like if you go to a high school, you almost can't, especially the female teachers, because they're littler and they're younger or whatever. But I almost can't discern sometimes, and I think the kids are looking older and older. So you almost can't discern. Was that a kid or a teacher? I've done that a couple times. So I wonder if that's why.
In your ripe old Cedar Point age of 38, things just look different.
Yeah, but is anyone know what I'm saying or not? Or are you just looking at me like I'm crazy? Because it seems like the gap of looks or the gap of age or something, it seems closer together, and that is ripe for disaster for people. I don't know. What's the matter, Demetrius? You okay?
Oh, nothing. I had to give my wife some nookie money. Oh, I'm sorry. Cookie money. Cookie. Sorry.
Yeah, you better change that.
I don't. Yeah.
You pay for sex?
Yes. I pay for it all the time. Some way or another, I pay for it.
But is anybody else just waiting for Kara to come flying in that room right now?
No.
I'm like looking around the corner, like, where's she at? Because I know she's coming.
No.
She has needed stuff in that room a lot more this morning than in the past.
Right, I know.
If we didn't have to, have sex, if we didn't have that craving of sex, like a lot of dirty, underhanded shit happens because of sex. Whether it's cheating on your spouse, whether it's doing a lot of inappropriate stuff has to do with sex. Like, if we didn't have that in us, we would have a lot less people in trouble. Does that make sense?
I want to say congratulations for pulling that back around to back to the TPS. I was wondering where this was going to go and how we get sidetracked, but you pulled it back around. And But is that? I think that's everybody, though. I mean, I don't know about.
Oh, yeah, that's mankind. But I'm saying if we didn't have to, if we didn't have that urge to have sex, then like how many politicians get? It's because of sex. How many? They say that sex has taken down empires. That you need your desire to have sex and dirty sex and naughty sex and sex you're not supposed to be having, and just sex in general has really screwed up a lot of this world. If we didn't have that issue, I think we would be a lot better on. Why are you guys
there'd be no people on the planet. That's absolutely correct. There'd be less people to ruin your day if people stopped mating. And I would absolutely agree with that.
But I'm speaking in the abstract, though.
But it's it's a genetic compulsion.
That's what I'm saying.
My daughter's here. She just said my ears.
I'm saying if we didn't have that genetic compulsion, though,
Kayla, how'd you think you got here?
A lot of people wouldn't have gotten in trouble, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense? Like okay, for instance,
that's not necessarily true. 'Cause speaking as a professional sex camel myself,
what?
Why
Jesus
should you
God,
be happy?
what the fuck?
Why should you be happy when I'm not? I could do any number of bad things just because of the frustration of not having. So, yeah, just simply not having sex.
But if we didn't know, but see, the difference is if sex had been eliminated from the world, you wouldn't know how good you wouldn't know how good it was, so you wouldn't know what you're missing. And I'm not saying some people just give up sex. I'm saying if the world hadn't had sex dropped on it like as a thing, we wouldn't know how good it was. So we wouldn't
reproduction or something.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Like we grew like plants. I don't know. Let's say we just grew like plants, and we didn't have to have sex to grow. You know, hey, I'm growing a Demetrius tree.
Man, could you imagine you walk in and then all of a sudden you're like your significant other plant is like, I see you putting roots down with that other tree over there, that bitch all over on our property, trying to squeeze her roots through this chain link fence. This ain't a thing. Oh no, Lord.
What am I
chop that bitch down before you wake up in the morning.
Are my roots not enough for you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk about a planet full of Groots.
So here's another thing, another reason. It's another example of how sex is ruining the world. Melinda Gates began divorce moves against Bill Gates. At the time, Bill's meetings with Jeffrey Epstein were revealed by media. So, Melinda Gates had concerns about her husband's dealings with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein when she consulted.
What is your source here?
To explore the options.
No, that's the news.
No, that's it's the Guardian. It's a legit. Yeah. It's a legit story. So the billionaire philanthropist announced their decision to divorce last week after declaring their marriage irretrievably broken, but did not explain why. So they're saying that a Wall Street Journal reported that in 2019, Melinda hired a team of lawyers from several high-powered law firms to discuss a possible divorce. The Journal said several of its sources had said Melinda was concerned about her husband's dealings with Epstein, who killed himself in jail in 2019 while awaiting a trial on federal related sex charges. She had expressed unease at Bill's relationship with Epstein since at least 2013. And there you go. So again, it's not alleging that maybe she could have just been mad because she's talking to this creeper, or it could be that maybe she suspected more or whatever. But bottom line, it's sex again, ruined a man. Like if you didn't,
I think it's weird that everybody makes the assumption that just because you associated with Epstein, somehow you participated in his extracurricular activities.
Yeah. And that is a great point, Tifel, and that's where we have to get past the headline. And I'm glad you brought that up because we don't know. There are a lot. When you're a rich dude, people want to come talk to you. When you're a successful dude, people want to come learn business from you. They want to do all that stuff.
Epstein enjoyed surrounding himself with rich and powerful people because he believed it provided him with protection. And that's why he did favors with like his plane and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean every single one of them.
You're right.
But here's my thing, and that's okay. It's absolutely true. And there's a lot of people who, have had some kind of, be it in the periphery or some kind of contact with him, whose marriages have still stayed intact. My question now is, what about the fact that these two are connected made Melinda Gates make that move? There is something other than just that headline saying because he was associated and there's pictures, there's something else that made her go, I'm not comfortable with that.
Not necessarily true. I'm going to give you an example.
Or it gave her an excuse for the other problems in their marriage.
Tifel,
you nailed it. God. So this could have been.
There's plenty of other ways that you can get out of that marriage than tying him to a sex offender.
Depends on what sort of prenup agreement they have.
Hold on, but that's the headline way of looking at things. D is you assume, all right, she wants a divorce now. She found out that he was hanging out with Epstein, and so there was something nefarious there. Or it could have been like, I'm tired of this motherfucker. Well, this is just another thing. He should be hanging out with weird dudes. I don't approve. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that it was nefarious, but that's what we all assume that happened. But it doesn't have to be. For instance, I was going to give an example, but I'm not going to. Go ahead, D.
I love this saying, and I when you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras, right? So this dude, not good. I'm going to think that this is because it's not just the fact that he met her, like him, or there's pictures taken. You know, when she found out, she started talking to a divorce attorney. There's something other than just, I don't like him anymore, that makes her make that move, because you can eat a lot of shit for $126 billion, right? $126 billion. You can kind of put up with his underwear on the floor. You could kind of put up with the fact that maybe he never does dishes. You can kind of put up with the fact that maybe he wears his Oracle costume every time you guys have sex for $126 billion. But once you're like, there's something creepy about him and I can't quite put my finger on it, and 2019 hits and you're like, wow, somebody put my finger on it. Now I know I got to make moves.
But here's my point too: is and I'm gonna go back to this, even though it's a far reach. But it's like, okay, the dude's done a lot of good things. He's giving away all his money to charity. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is the biggest charity in the world. He's giving away all his money. Like, he's all about helping the world. He's with malaria in foreign countries, done all this good stuff, and then you let's assume, taking D's side, well, now you drop sex into the thing, and it fucked him up, and I'm like, well, we'll see if we didn't. Well, I'm just saying, if we didn't have
underage girls,
but the desire to, but it's part of the desire. If we didn't have that desire, he'd be a great guy, and now all of a sudden it got him. It gets a lot of dudes. It's a lot of.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a reason why you're giving away most of your millions and billions. You're like, you have done some horrible shit in your life, now you got to get rid of all your cash, because you hope that balance that God has up in heaven is literally a number where he's like, okay, you've done $20 million worth of bad shit. I'm going to need you to give away $40 million so you could get back up here. This is how how everybody else got up here. All these cats who were rich and super, look, this dude, he had a problem with sheep, but he paid me $50 million in charity money. And now he's up here and his heaven is full of sheep. Now I don't judge because I'm God, and I do judge because that's my job. I'm like,
that's your Old Testament God.
Did judge.
You know, so I'm going to judge a little bit, but he did kind of balance out his due money with $40 million in charity.
But you see, again, you're assuming something nefarious with Bill Gates, and we don't even know.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got $126 billion. I'm giving away maybe 20 of it. Maybe 20, because, I just want to be helpful. But most of it, dude, I got skeletons buried if I'm giving away most of it.
Here's the thing. 1% of the world has that kind of wealth, right? Or less than 1%. So it's not a surprise that ultra rich people hang out with or know ultra rich people. There's only a handful of people in that club. So just because he knows him doesn't necessarily mean something nefarious. Now, but here's the thing. Let's say Gina has a friend that I'm Dubs. Gina has a friend that he cannot stand. He's a bad influence on her. She comes home late with panties on her head when they go out. It's like, I don't want you hanging out with him. So
it's like a good night.
At some point, if you're already fed up in the relationship, and it's like, I don't want you to go with a friend, and Gina's like, fuck you, that's my friend, I'm not listening to you. Well, maybe that's just the last straw, just because she doesn't want him hanging out with that. Maybe because I just don't want her hanging out with that person. That was the reason that like he's a creeper, but maybe they've been friends, and he's like, well, he's my friend, and whatever he's done.
So here's the deal, though. Like, because I think at some point everybody knew Epstein was a creep. Like, I'm pretty sure you know, Pedo Island was a rumor before we knew it was a rumor. So that if you know that and you continue to hang out with that person, that's when it gets questionable to me. So like the fact that he rubbed elbows with Epstein is cool, but after he found out about Epstein being a disgusting pig, then did he continue the friendship?
I mean,
That's when it becomes a question to me.
Yeah, even Trump cut him off once those charges that he beat, those charges that he beat initially, that they're investigating how those got dropped right now. Once those charges came out and he ended up not getting charged or whatnot, if Bill Gates kept associating with him after it became public knowledge.
When you're too dirty for Trump to hang around with you, what the fuck?
Right?
It's like, God, this guy's a creeper. Really?
I want you guys to look at this. Look at this guy real quick, okay? I want you.
What?
Well, I'm gonna say because like before, it's easy to ignore rumor.
Right.
Right. All right. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Right? Do you think he's had a hard time finding women to lay down with him? Right? Look at this cat. Right? That's a guy. That's a guy who looks like, you know, like he's been making love to bottle caps for a long time.
Okay, look, dude. Look, I get it. The dude is a 2. Okay, the dude's a 2. He's got no personality. He's got nothing. But you add $1 billion. That 2 is a 9 all fucking day.
All day. All day.
I could. There is a line of women that would sleep with Bill Gates.
People could land him a wife if he was rich like that.
Yeah, please. Tifel goes from a 1 to a 9 like that with. Well, not $1 billion, maybe like $3 billion.
He's not a 1. Christ. Aw, poor. You're not a 1, people.
Wrist meat razor. God.
Like, I can only imagine like the first time like somebody was on that plane. They're like, "All right, we're landing on Pedo Island," and he's like, "Pedo, like podiatrist? Is there like an island of podiatrists? Is
it an island with no motor vehicles? You just have to ride everywhere?"
I'm gonna go
like
where the pilot did not announce that one.
Like he didn't. Did he not put the other D and L in it? And Pedal Island? Is it Pedal? Oh, like is this like Jurassic Park? Am I gonna come down here and find huge prehistoric vaginas roaming the forest? Like T vagina.
Well.
Wait, what is it? I'm done. I can't. What's happening right now?
Welcome to. Thank you for flying on.
Vaginosaur? Is that what you just did? Did you just do a vaginosaur impression?
Okay, so welcome to Epstein Airlines. Welcome everybody to about to land. We're landing. Please, everyone. We're about 5 minutes away from Pedo Island. You're like, what? Wait, where am I going? Wait, what?
What? I must have jumped on the wrong plane. I was supposed to go to like adult only island. What the shit is this? Why do they have why is there a midget in a white suit waving us in?
This isn't Fantasy Island? Oh, man.
But Mr. Rourke better be down in this bitch. I tell you what.
Where's Tattoo? Tattoo.
Please do not finger the animals.
All right. One more thing.
You guys ruined my whole day because nothing can top Vaginosaur after today. After now, my day's ruined. D. It's peaked at 7:18 in the morning. My day peaked.
All right. One more thing. This girl, a woman, is charged after kicking a TPD officer in the leg. But I love her picture, George. If you can put her picture. A woman is being charged with felonious assault after she kicked a police officer in the leg while she was being booked in the Lucas County Jail. Krista Henry, 27, was being booked into the jail on Saturday morning when she kicked an officer. Now, this is after, obviously, she's had a good night. Like, if you roll in, Georgia, look at her lipstick, her eyeshadow. I bet you she's single.
And I bet you she's going to be on house arrest, so she'll be home all the time.
All the time. Pull in George on her lips. She's like the lipstick's all coming off. She had a good Saturday night, and some shit went haywire, and it did not end right.
What did she kick the cop with to get felonious
Her
assault?
foot. No.
What is her foot made out of? A gun?
Officer was otherwise uninjured and did not request medical attention. And
Right. So now you're right, D, because now that makes it extra suspect. Like he didn't even get like his leg's not broken. He's not.
Yeah.
How is
He
it
didn't even get medical
felonious
attention.
assault?
Like because she kicked a police officer, like in the shin. Does that girl look like she makes good decisions? Like we can just chalk that up to you should have expected that.
So this is the definition of felonious assault. Legal definition is knowingly causing serious physical harm to another person or unborn child, or attempting to cause serious harm with a deadly weapon or firearm. And he's right about how the hell they charge her with felonious assault.
He got his
Dude, she must have brought that foot back from Florida.
People's like, she got a boo boo. He got a boo boo. So
Wow.
all right. There you go. This portion.
Did you see Mike's comment, Andrew?
He say?
He
What?
said, Cabo Loco, here she comes.
I don't understand. I don't like new hire jets next week. We are looking for servers.
I'm telling you. She'll make a great cook. All she needs is a neck tattoo.
And yes, Angela's gonna. What if she had her hooker boots on? She's hook her heels. She's out with her friends. That could be.
They're in the middle of booking her, and she's still wearing the heels, and they screwed up themselves.
She's a new hooker. Everybody knows old hookers wear Skechers. Like you aren't out on those streets in those stripper boots. Like when old hookers see new hookers, they're like, "Oh, look at this girl, new to the game. She ain't even got Rockports on. She needs a."
They have like nursing shoes.
Yeah, they wear those
Kara's like, what
comfy
about
nursing
hookers?
shoes. Yeah,
Lufka all natural. Lufka is all natural. You can go in your hooker boots. You can go in whatever you want and order some of the best cosmetics.
Some all natural soaps for your Vaginosaurus.
no. Everybody knows the last thing you want is an angry Vaginosaurus.
Yes. So you rub some essential oils and some other bullshit on your
Calm it down.
Yeah. On the southbound.
Calm down, Vaginosaurus.
Well, that's how you deal with your girl when she comes in and she's upset. Just throw holy water on her.
No, there she. Oh, she's walked by. Good job, Gina. God, summoned. Lufka all natural, south boundary in Perrysburg. DMX Lawn and Landscape. If your lawn is getting long and you're not doing it yourself, you're too busy, you got too many side hustles going on, you just don't feel like doing it, give them a call. Family owned. They'll be out. They'll take care of your lawn. They do a great job. You get on a little schedule. You don't have to worry about it and forget about it, and they will take care of it and get you all nice and fresh. Okay, time for WTF News. Ebenezer Bushrod.
All right. Well, today in Houston, local police and officials are conducting a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, and doghouse in the area because there's a tiger on the loose. That's right. The other day, a tiger was spotted on the lawn outside a man's house when an off-duty sheriff's deputy approached him to inquire, "Hey, what the fuck's up with the tiger?" The guy grabbed the tiger by the collar and let him into the house. And then later on, after police were, still understandably curious about the fucking tiger, the guy takes the tiger and puts him in a white SUV and leads police on a small little chase in which he actually successfully avoided the police. And then somehow the tiger goes missing. The guy, the suspect, Hugo Cuevas, he's 26. He's also already out on bond on suspicion of a murder from 2017, was picked up at his parents' house, sans tiger, and now everyone's just kind of on edge because there's a tiger out there and nobody knows what happens next.
Roar.
Yeah, the tiger was like just roaming around the park in a neighborhood. And so a bunch of people called the cops, and then this dude was like, he just ran out, and they were like, "Is that your tiger?" And he was like, "Nope," and then just took it. And I'm like, first of all, if the tiger goes with you, it kind of indicates ownership. Tigers don't strike me as somebody that hangs out with a stranger.
Yeah, Hugo insists that he does not own the Tiger, nor does he own a white SUV, so therefore he could not have been the one to lead police on this chase. His lawyer claims that he is cooperating with police in trying to find the Tiger, as it does belong to a friend of his. You know, the friend that we all have that owns a fucking tiger.
I have a tiger friend.
So that's it. So if you're in the Houston area, keep that head on a swivel today. On there. So, all right, an Italian woman. She's about 24. She qualified for the COVID-19 vaccine because she works in the hospital. She went down to get her vaccine, and the nurse filled her syringe and gave her dose of vaccine, only to realize there were 5 other empty syringes on the tray, and she just gave her the entire vial, 6 total doses of the Pfizer vaccine at once. They kept her overnight for observation, and they're going to continue to monitor her as she's at home to make sure there aren't any hugely adverse effects to her for having such a ridiculously high dose of the vaccine.
Now she's immune to everything.
No word yet on whether or not she's going to have to go back for a second dose.
I mean,
but they're investigating if they're looking like, it was just human error. The nurse, I guess, must have just been tired and just filled the entire syringe with.
Georgia said patient 0 has been made. This is how it all starts.
Yep. Somehow I knew it would always come out of Italy. And here we've got a story out of Florida. Emily Rose Grover, who recently turned 18 years old, is being charged as an adult for several computer-related felonies and using her mom's, who is a vice principal at her school's, login to the school system to rig the homecoming election votes to put her as queen. She was 17 at the time, but turned 18 as police were conducting their investigation at Tate High School. Her mom's a vice principal there, and she used her mom's login to what's called their Focus system that has all the student information in there for them, and used that login to then impersonate other students and go in and vote for herself. As other students for homecoming queen. They have text messages of her bragging to other students about her being able to find their grades and things like that. So it's not the first time that she's used her mom's login there. Her mom has also been charged as well and suspended from her job. So homecoming, apparently pretty darn serious down in Florida.
I mean, if you have a login and you don't use it to change your grades and use it to make yourself homecoming queen,
right?
She's not winning life. Like, that's not.
Well, you think she's worried about her grades?
I mean, obviously
Mom's
not.
the vice principal. She's not worried about her grades. Like her mom is like changing those, but
she's smiling and the mom is pissed. Like this looks like a daughter that just did some shit and a mom that's really pissed about it.
Like, because you can't be that average looking and not have people question why are you homecoming queen.
Oh, don't do that, D.
So we can't shame the cheater? Is that what it is? We can't shame the cheater.
She's still a little girl.
She's 18. She's being charged as an adult. We can shame her.
Oh, no. No. All right. One more?
I got one more out of the UK. West Midland Trains, which runs trains out of London, recently decided they sent an email to about their 2,500 employees saying, you know what? Our managing director recognizes that you've had a lot of hardship over the last year because of COVID-19, and you guys have really pulled through. You guys have really, kept on the ball, even though we've lost one of our employees to COVID-19, and many of you ended up being infected with it. And so, as a show of appreciation and this huge strain that this has put on you, and you guys have persevered through, we'd like to give you a one-time bonus. And that about 2,500 of their employees got that, and they got really excited about it. we're going to get a bonus. We're going to get some recognition for all the hard work we've done. And except for those that actually clicked through on the email where it asked them to click on and do something, they ended up getting an email back, and it was a cybersecurity test set up by the company for phishing scams. So all they ended up doing was getting an email back lecturing them about clicking unknown links. And this is understandably upset all of these employees, because here they are being told they're getting a bonus, only to find out later that it was just a scam set up by their own company to trap them in a phishing as a phishing test.
Wow.
Their cybersecurity is important, but maybe read the room a little.
Right.
So the union it has been posting grievances about it. The state's gotten involved a little bit with some of the MPs, understandably upset.
All right. Do you get something to say? Do you get something to say?
Just for real, out of all the things you're going to complain to the state about it, really? Because you didn't get your bonus and you fell for a trick? Really? How about you look at your husband or your wife that you've been married to for 10 years now and look at that trick you fell for? How about that?
It's more the company's not catching crap because they're not giving out.
How about the phishing scam you committed to in front of God and all your friends?
The company's not getting crap so much for not giving out the bonuses. It's just how they chose to conduct the phishing.
This portion of the show, thank you, Gina. This portion of the show brought to you in part by our newest sponsor, Hot Rods Auto Detailing. I'm super excited about this one because Demetrius and I bought this new truck, and it is a disaster as far as the looks wise. And we're going to put Hot Rod right to the test right up front, and he's going to detail this thing today.
And just to know, like you talk local business, this guy started from bucket and chemicals.
Yep.
He was an intern on the show, and he has grown his business to the point where like he is now legit. And this is all through hard work and perseverance. This kid was hit by an El Camino on the east side and almost killed, fought MRSA and everything, and has now gotten himself to a point where he is a volunteer firefighter and a business owner.
I saw a post on his page yesterday. He was so excited because he got his LLC from the state. He's like, I am officially a business now. He's worked his ass off to get there, like Dee said, during COVID, and he was washing cars. And now he uses all the top of the line equipment he's been able to buy because he's done such a good job. Imagine if he did it with a soap, with a bucket and ivory soap, what he can do now with thousands of dollars in chemicals and equipment. That's the kind of work that he was doing so well that people were still hiring him with nothing. Yeah. And he's been so successful at it that he's been able to buy all this amazing equipment. So you've got to check out Hot Rod Auto Detailing. We're checking them out today, and I'm super excited about it. Hot Rods Auto Detailing. Also, of course, Teebs, our show sponsor, Teebs of Adrian. Check them out as well. All right, you guys, for Gina and Georgia and Demetrius and Tifel, I'm Andrew. You guys have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Come on!